Hey there, friends. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic, the old money families who played a huge role in building America. So what do we mean by old money? Well, simply put, it refers to families that have been wealthy for several generations, often with a rich history tied to America's development. These families were shaping society long before the question of new money came along, and their impact is still felt today. So, let's embark on this journey together and see how these families shaped the nation. First, let's set the stage. The story of wealth in America is pretty wild when you think about it. In the 19th century, as the country was expanding and industrializing, we started to see families accumulate vast amounts of wealth. This wasn't just about having money, it was about influence, power, and status. While new money emerged during the gold rush and the Industrial Revolution, old money families were already leveraging their wealth to shape American culture and industry. The Astors. First up, the Astors. They're often considered one of the first significant old money families in America. The family began with John Jacob Astor, a German immigrant who made his fortune in the fur trade and real estate. By the 1800s, the Astors were owning vast swathes of New York City, including much of what we now consider the Upper East Side. Their wealth didn't just pad their pockets, it contributed to the development of American society, including parks, theaters, and cultural institutions. Talk about leaving a mark, the Vanderbilts. Next on the list are the Vanderbilts. Cornelius Vanderbilt started with humble beginnings, but through savvy business moves in shipping and railroads, he became one of the wealthiest men in America. His investments in railroads amassed a fortune and transformed transportation in the U.S. The family's lavish homes, like the famous Biltmore Estate in North Carolina, showcased their wealth. Unfortunately, as time went on, the Vanderbilt fortune dwindled. But they certainly had an extravagant impact during their prime, the Rockefellers. Moving on, let's talk about one of the biggest names in American history, the Rockefellers. John D. Rockefeller, the founder of Standard Oil, wasn't just a businessman, he was a game changer. His company set the stage for the U.S. oil industry and earned him incredible wealth. However, his legacy isn't just about money. He was also a philanthropist, establishing numerous charities and institutions that shaped education and public health. The Rockefeller Foundation is still making waves today, showing how old money can play a positive role in society. The Carnegies. Lastly, we can't forget the Carnegies. Andrew Carnegie made his riches in the steel industry, and just like Rockefeller, he believed in giving back. He famously said, "The man who dies rich dies disgraced." So he poured his fortune into building libraries, schools, and universities, creating a legacy that has touched millions. The Carnegie Libraries are still a treasure trove of knowledge in communities across the U.S. These families didn't just hoard their wealth, they helped shape American society. They wielded a lot of influence, not only in economics, but also in politics and culture. From funding important art institutions to shaping policies, old money families contributed to the fabric of American life. Their philanthropic efforts helped establish educational institutions that are still renowned today. Of course, it hasn't always been smooth sailing. The Great Depression was a major wake-up call that affected many of these old money families, forcing them to reassess their fortunes and lifestyles. As society evolved, the perception of wealth also changed. What was once admired became scrutinized, leading to a greater focus on social responsibility. New money started to rise, changing the landscape and challenging the old guard. So where do we stand today? Old money families remain a fascinating part of our history, and some still wield significant influence in society. Think of names like the Bushes or the Roosevelts sold money with a continued legacy. The ongoing dialogue about wealth and privilege keeps us aware of these historical families' roles in shaping the future. In conclusion, the legacy that continues to impact us today. Whether through their economic power or philanthropy, their stories are woven into the very fabric of American life. As we look to the future, it's essential to remember these families and the lessons their history teaches us about wealth, responsibility, and community engagement. Thanks for joining me on this journey through history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.